Let's get right into it.
Number 6. The ghost DNA in your cells. Imagine you're carrying around ancient ghosts inside you. Not the spooky kind that slam doors, but the genetic kind that quietly sit in your cells, judging your modern habits. Scientists call it archaic introgression, which sounds like something you'd need a medical cream for. But it basically means your DNA still contains leftovers from extinct humans, like Neanderthals or Denisovans. Yep, you're a walking museum exhibit. Around 1 to 4% of your genome is Neanderthal, depending on where your ancestors lived. Which means if you've ever had a sudden urge to bash two rocks together or grunt instead of talk during the Zoom call, you can officially blame your inner caveman. But here's where it gets weird. Some of those genes aren't just historical souvenirs, they're still active. They influence things like your immune system, your skin, your hair, even how your body responds to altitude or sunlight. In other words, some of your modern human traits are powered by DNA from species that have been dead for 40,000 years. And while that might sound cool, it's also kind of cursed. Some Neanderthal genes make you more likely to develop allergies, depression, or nicotine addiction. Basically, your great-great-great-great-grand Neanderthal accidentally left a bug in the system, and we're still patching the software. It's the biological version of finding your ex's old playlist still downloaded on your phone. Nostalgic, but also deeply unsettling.
Number 5. The switch that never turned off. Deep inside your DNA, there's a stretch of ancient code called ERVs, endogenous retroviruses. Translation: your ancestors caught viral infections so long ago that the viruses permanently fused into the human genome, and now they're part of you. About 8% of your DNA, yes, 8%, is just dead viruses that refuse to leave. Most of them are silent, like background noise on an old cassette tape, but some still do things. Scientists recently discovered that certain ERVs help control gene expression in embryos, basically acting like switches for early development. Others might even help regulate the immune system. But occasionally, one of these viral ghosts wakes up, and when it does, it can cause chaos, cancer, autoimmune disorders, even neurological conditions. Imagine your great-great-great-grandparents' ancient flu deciding to start a riot in your cells. That's ERVs. It's poetic, really. Humanity spent millennia fighting viruses, and now we are partly virus. Congratulations, you're a flush-and-blood USB stick full of ancient malware.
Number 4. The fire gene. Humans are the only species that plays with fire and likes it. No other animal roasts food for fun or stares at glowing embers thinking, yeah, this feels right. But here's the strange part. Our relationship with fire might not just be cultural, it might be genetic. There's growing evidence that humans evolved specific sensory and dopamine responses to firelight. Early Homo erectus, who could tolerate smoke, control fear of flames, and even enjoy the warmth, had better odds of survival. Over generations, that comfort around fire may have literally rewired our genes. Modern studies show that some people's genes still make them more soot-resistant or less sensitive to smoke particles. An echo of the prehistoric pyromaniac who first thought, let's cook this mammoth. Others, however, carry ancestral genes that fear fire, triggering an exaggerated startle response to sudden light or heat. That's not just personality. It's biology remembering when fire meant run or burn. The forbidden part? Those early adaptations might have altered not just our bodies, but our brains. Sitting around campfires every night boosted social bonding, storytelling, and imagination. In short, fire didn't just cook our food, it cooked our consciousness. So the next time you zone out watching a candle flicker, just know you're staring into the same hypnotic spell your ancestors did 2 million years ago. Your DNA remembers, and apparently, it still finds arson kind of relaxing.
Number 3. The immortality glitch.
You might think aging is natural, but biologically speaking, it's kind of a bug. See, most of your cells have a built-in self-destruct system. Every time they divide, they lose a tiny bit of DNA called a telomere, sort of like a countdown timer on your lifespan. But here's where it gets creepy. Some people have genetic variants that slow down or even repair this process. They carry a version of the TERT gene that keeps their telomeres long and their cells young for way longer than normal. Sounds great, right? Eternal youth, shiny skin, perfect hair, until you realize it's the same mechanism cancer cells use to become immortal. That's right. Your body can either age gracefully or live forever and kill you from the inside. No middle ground. In some families, this forbidden immortality gene still lingers, quiet, rare, and risky. It's evolution's cruel joke. The secret to not dying is also the recipe for a really bad way to die. So yeah, you could technically have the genetic key to longevity, but it's like keeping plutonium in your fridge. Powerful, unstable, and definitely not FDA approved.
Number 2. The superhuman pain switch. Some people can break bones, give birth, or walk on glass with barely a wince. No, they're not superheroes. They just carry a forbidden mutation in a gene called FAAH out. Scientists discovered it by accident in a Scottish woman who literally didn't feel pain or anxiety. She could get burned, cut, or bruised and only notice because of the smell or the sight. Her body's natural endocannabinoid system, the one that processes pain and stress, was dialed to permanent chill mode. She also healed faster, didn't experience fear like normal people, and stayed eerily optimistic even under pressure. But here's the catch. Without pain, she didn't always realize when something was wrong. Broken bones went unnoticed. Infections got ignored. The gene gave her biological serenity, but at the cost of her survival instincts. Evolution probably buried this mutation for a reason. Too much peace of mind, and you forget that life's trying to kill you. Still, that ancient gene flickers in a few people even today, like nature's glitchy cheat code for God mode. It's proof that the line between blessing and curse in your DNA is razor thin. You either feel too much or nothing at all, and both can ruin you in spectacular ways. Basically, your body's error message reads, "Pain not found, proceed at your own risk."
Number 1.
Deep inside the human genome lies a genetic sequence scientists once called HACNS1. Basically, a stretch of DNA that suddenly went rogue about 500,000 years ago and started rewriting what it meant to be human. It's sometimes nicknamed the forbidden gene because it changed so much, so fast, that it doesn't match anything in our primate relatives. While chimpanzees have a stable version of this sequence, ours mutated over 16 times faster. That one microscopic rebellion is believed to have reshaped our hands, our limbs, even parts of our brain, specifically the regions linked to language, dexterity, and creativity. In other words, this genetic glitch might be the reason you're watching YouTube instead of flinging poop in a rainforest. But there's a dark side. Some people still carry hyperactive versions of this gene that mess with normal growth patterns. It's been linked to abnormal brain development, hypercoordination disorders, and even rare forms of cognitive divergence. It's like evolution accidentally left the beta version of human intelligence in a few lucky or unlucky test subjects. If that's true, then our greatest leap forward as a species might have been one colossal mistake that stuck. A forbidden mutation that made us smarter, weirder, and infinitely more self-destructive. So yeah, humanity might owe its existence to a DNA accident that broke every biological rule and somehow worked. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.